Beneath the frozen crust of Europa lies a mystery older than Earth itself. An ocean teeming with life, untouched by sunlight, thriving in darkness. What secrets do these alien waters hold? Could they rewrite the story of life as we know it? Or will humanity's curiosity awaken something far beyond our understanding? Join us as we dive into the abyss, where science meets the unknown, and discover what hides beneath Europa's icy veil. Don't miss this journey to the edge of imagination. Subscribe now and explore the universe's greatest enigmas. Europa, one of Jupiter's most intriguing moons, has long captured the imagination of scientists and dreamers alike. Its surface, a sprawling expanse of ice crisscrossed by jagged fractures, hints at the hidden world below, a vast subsurface ocean that may hold more water than all of Earth's seas combined. For decades, humanity speculated about the possibility of life within this alien domain. But speculation soon gave way to ambition when advances in space exploration technology made probing Europa's depths a tangible goal. The mission began with a single spacecraft, an uncrewed probe equipped with cutting-edge instruments designed to penetrate Europa's icy shell. The craft, named Abyssal Seeker carried drills capable of boring through kilometers of solid ice, sensors attuned to detecting even the faintest traces of biological activity, and cameras built to capture the unimaginable. As it descended toward Europa's surface, its systems scanned for the perfect landing site, a region where thermal vents might indicate warmth rising from the ocean below. But the true challenge lay not in reaching Europa but in surviving its harsh environment. Radiation from Jupiter bombarded the moon's surface, creating conditions lethal to both machines and humans. Engineers had spent years developing shielding materials and autonomous systems robust enough to endure such hostility. Yet despite their efforts, no one could predict what awaited beneath the ice. Was the ocean sterile and barren? Or did it harbor ecosystems unlike anything ever encountered? As Abyssal Seeker touched down on Europa's frostbitten plains, millions watched live feeds from mission control. Each second felt like an eternity as the drill extended and began its descent. The first meters passed quickly, revealing pristine layers of translucent ice. But deeper down, strange formations emerged, patterns resembling frozen tendrils, almost organic in appearance. These anomalies sparked debates among the team. Were they natural phenomena or evidence of something far stranger? Hours turned into days as Abyssal Seeker burrowed deeper. Progress slowed as the ice grew denser, resisting the probe's relentless advance. Yet every meter brought new data, painting a clearer picture of Europa's interior. Scientists marveled at the purity of the ice, free from impurities found in terrestrial glaciers. It suggested that the ocean below was isolated, untouched by external influences for billions of years. Then came the breakthrough, or so it seemed. Sensors detected a sudden shift in temperature and pressure, signaling the transition from ice to liquid water. Excitement rippled through mission control, tempered only by caution. No human-made device had ever ventured into such an alien environment. Would the probe survive contact with Europa's ocean? And if it did, what would it find? The moment of truth arrived when Abyssal Seeker breached the boundary between ice and water. Cameras activated, capturing murky scenes illuminated by artificial light. At first glance, the ocean appeared desolate, a shadowy void stretching endlessly in all directions. But closer inspection revealed movement, faint, sinuous shapes drifting through the gloom. They weren't fish, nor jellyfish, nor any creature known to science. Their forms defied categorization, shimmering like living glass, pulsating with faint bioluminescent glows. These beings moved with eerie grace, seemingly unperturbed by the intrusion of the probe. Some floated individually, while others congregated in loose clusters, forming patterns too symmetrical to be random. Were they communicating? Observing? Or simply existing without awareness of the mechanical visitor documenting their presence? Questions multiplied faster than answers, fueling both awe and unease among the researchers. Yet there was something else, a structure looming in the distance. Too regular to be a natural formation, it rose from the seabed like a monolith, its surface smooth and featureless. Had the probe stumbled upon evidence of intelligent design? Or was this another manifestation of Europa's enigmatic ecosystem? The implications sent shockwaves through the scientific community, raising questions about the nature of life itself. Further analysis of the underwater structure revealed details that defied conventional understanding. Standing nearly 50 meters tall, it emitted faint electromagnetic signals, rhythmic and deliberate, akin to a heartbeat. Its composition resisted identification. No known material matched its properties. Speculation ran rampant. Is this artifact proof of extraterrestrial intelligence, or merely a geological oddity shaped by forces humanity couldn't comprehend? While debates raged on Earth, Abyssal Seeker continued its exploration. Venturing closer to the structure, the probe deployed microdrones capable of navigating tight spaces. These drones uncovered intricate carvings etched into the monolith's surface, resembling fractals spiraling inward toward a central point. Each line pulsed faintly, as though alive, responding to the drone's proximity. Simultaneously, samples collected from the surrounding water yielded astonishing results. Microorganisms unlike anything seen before thrived in the ocean's frigid depths. Unlike Earth-based life forms dependent on sunlight, these organisms derived energy from chemical reactions occurring near hydrothermal vents. Their biochemistry hinted at entirely new pathways for evolution, challenging the very definition of life. But amidst these discoveries, anomalies persisted. The bioluminescent creatures observed earlier began exhibiting coordinated behavior, converging around the monolith in synchronized patterns. Their movements suggested purpose, perhaps even communication. Could they be interacting with the structure? If so, what message were they conveying or receiving? Back on Earth, public fascination reached fever pitch. News outlets broadcast images of the glowing entities and the mysterious monolith, sparking debates about humanity's place in the cosmos. Religious leaders pondered whether these findings constituted evidence of divine creation, while skeptics dismissed them as overinterpretations of natural phenomena. Amidst the chaos, one question loomed largest: should humanity intervene further, risking contamination of this pristine ecosystem, or leave Europa's secrets undisturbed? The probe's microdrones ventured closer to the monolith, their sensors detecting faint vibrations emanating from its surface. These oscillations resonated at frequencies beyond human hearing, yet they seemed to synchronize with the movements of the bioluminescent creatures. The drones captured footage of the glowing entities swirling around the structure in intricate patterns, almost like a choreographed dance. Their actions were deliberate, suggesting an intelligence or instinct far more advanced than initially assumed. As researchers analyzed the data, they noticed something extraordinary. The monolith appeared to respond to the creature's presence. Its carvings pulsed brighter when the organisms approached, and the electromagnetic signals it emitted intensified momentarily before subsiding. It was as if the structure and the life forms shared a symbiotic relationship, each influencing the other in ways that defied conventional understanding. Meanwhile, Abyssal Seeker deployed additional instruments to study the surrounding environment. Hydrothermal vents nearby spewed mineral-rich fluids into the water, creating oases of warmth amidst the freezing ocean. These vents supported dense colonies of microbial life, which served as the foundation for Europa's unique food web. But what astonished the scientists most was how certain microbes clustered around the base of the monolith, seemingly drawn to its energy emissions. Back on Earth, these findings ignited fierce debates. Was the monolith a natural formation shaped by geological processes over eons? Or could it be evidence of extraterrestrial engineering, a relic left behind by an ancient civilization? Some argued that the structure's symmetry and functionality pointed to intelligent design, while others insisted it might simply reflect unknown laws of physics operating under Europa's extreme conditions. Further investigation revealed another astonishing property of the monolith: it generated heat. Thermal sensors detected localized zones of elevated temperature radiating outward from the structure, creating microclimates within the otherwise frigid ocean. These temperate pockets allowed the bioluminescent creatures to thrive despite the harsh surroundings. The discovery raised profound questions about the interplay between geology, biology, and perhaps even technology. Could the monolith have been deliberately placed to sustain life in this desolate world? If so, who or what had constructed it? And why? To answer these questions, Abyssal Seeker deployed a suite of spectroscopic tools to analyze the monolith's composition. Initial results were baffling. The material exhibited properties unlike any known substance on Earth. It was both incredibly durable and capable of transmitting energy with remarkable efficiency. Moreover, its surface displayed nanoscale structures that appeared to self-repair when damaged. While scientists puzzled over the monolith's nature, the probe continued exploring the surrounding area. Cameras captured glimpses of larger organisms moving through the darkness, massive filter feeders that glided silently through the water, their translucent bodies shimmering faintly in the dim light. These beings, dubbed Leviathans, dwarfed the smaller bioluminescent creatures and seemed to play a crucial role in maintaining the ecosystem's balance. Yet every revelation brought new uncertainties. The Leviathans occasionally approached the monolith, pausing briefly before continuing their journey. Were they interacting with the structure or merely passing by coincidence? Without direct observation, it was impossible to say. Microbial samples collected near the monolith yielded startling insights. Genetic analysis revealed sequences unlike anything found on Earth. These organisms possessed highly adaptive genomes, capable of rapid mutation in response to environmental changes. More intriguingly, some contained fragments of genetic code that repeated across different species, suggesting a shared evolutionary heritage. This phenomenon hinted at a form of biological memory encoded within their DNA. Over billions of years, these microbes may have evolved alongside the monolith, adapting to its influence and incorporating its effects into their very essence. Such discoveries challenged fundamental assumptions about the origins of life and the mechanisms driving evolution. But the implications extended further. If the monolith played a role in shaping Europa's biosphere, could it also serve as a repository of information? Some researchers speculated that the electromagnetic pulses emitted by the structure might encode data, functioning as a kind of cosmic archive. Others dismissed the idea as speculative fantasy, pointing out the lack of concrete evidence. Despite the controversy, public interest soared. Images of the glowing creatures and the enigmatic monolith captivated audiences worldwide. Social media buzzed with theories ranging from plausible to outlandish, while scientific journals overflowed with papers dissecting every detail of the mission. Then disaster struck. A sudden surge in current swept through the ocean, dislodging one of the probe's tethered drones and damaging its communication array. For hours, mission control struggled to regain contact, fearing the worst. Without the ability to transmit data, humanity risked losing access to Europa's secrets forever. The incident underscored the fragility of human endeavors in such an alien environment. Europa's ocean, vast and uncharted, remained a realm of uncertainty. Every step forward carried the potential for unforeseen consequences. Yet abandoning the mission wasn't an option, not when answers lay tantalizingly close. Engineers scrambled to devise a solution. Using the remaining functional drones, they mapped the damaged area and formulated a plan to repair the probe remotely. It was a risky maneuver, requiring precise coordination and split-second timing. Any mistake could result in total loss of the mission. Tension mounted as the repair operation began. Viewers watched live feeds, holding their breath as robotic arms manipulated delicate components deep beneath Europa's ice. Each movement felt agonizingly slow, yet the stakes demanded perfection. Against all odds, the repair succeeded. Communication was restored, and Abyssal Seeker resumed its exploration. The probe descended deeper into the ocean, venturing farther from the monolith. Here, the landscape shifted dramatically. Towering hydrothermal chimneys rose from the seabed, their mineral deposits glittering in the artificial light. Swarms of tiny organisms flitted around these structures, feeding on the chemicals released by the vents. Among them, the team identified a new species, a massive filter feeder resembling a translucent whale. Dubbed Leviathanes europensis dash, these creatures moved with slow, majestic grace, their gelatinous forms rippling as they filtered nutrients from the water. They appeared indifferent to the probe's presence, content to drift through their eternal night. But the real surprise came when Abyssal Seeker detected faint luminescent trails crisscrossing the seabed. These markings resembled paths or roads, carved into the sediment by unknown forces. Followed them led the probe to another cluster of monolith-like structures, smaller but equally enigmatic. The discovery of additional monoliths transformed the mission's focus. Researchers hypothesized that these structures formed part of a network spanning Europa's ocean, possibly serving as nodes in a larger system. If true, the implications were staggering. Such a network could regulate the entire biosphere, ensuring the survival of countless species in an otherwise inhospitable environment. Meanwhile, communication attempts with the monoliths yielded mixed results. By modulating the probe's own electromagnetic signals, scientists tried to mimic the patterns emitted by the structures. At first, there was no response. Then, unexpectedly, one of the monoliths altered its pulse frequency, matching the probe's signal. Though rudimentary, this exchange suggested the possibility of dialogue. Humanity had taken its first tentative steps toward communicating with an alien entity or entities. The realization sent shockwaves through the scientific community, igniting discussions about ethics, responsibility, and the potential risks of further interaction. Public reaction mirrored the complexity of the situation. While many celebrated the breakthrough, others voiced concerns about disturbing Europa's delicate equilibrium. Environmentalists argued that continued interference could irreparably damage the Moon's pristine ecosystem. Further analysis of the monolith network revealed a level of complexity that defied human comprehension. These structures were not merely passive regulators. They actively manipulated their environment, orchestrating a delicate balance between temperature, nutrient flow, and even the behavior of Europa's life forms. The monoliths emitted electromagnetic pulses in precise sequences, which appeared to synchronize the migration patterns of the bioluminescent creatures and guide the movements of the Europa leviathans. Scientists theorized that the monoliths functioned as a kind of neural network, communicating with each other across vast distances within Europa's ocean. This hypothesis was bolstered by the discovery of faint energy conduits, thin, glowing filaments stretching between the structures like threads in a cosmic web. These conduits pulsed with rhythmic bursts of energy, suggesting a form of interconnectivity far beyond anything humanity had encountered before. The implications were staggering. If the monoliths truly operated as a unified system, they could represent an artificial intelligence, or something akin to it, designed to maintain the stability of Europa's ecosystem. But who or what had created such a system? And for what purpose? Was it a remnant of an ancient civilization or a naturally occurring phenomenon that mimicked intelligence? As researchers delved deeper into the data, they turned their attention to decoding the signals emitted by the monoliths. Using advanced algorithms, they identified recurring mathematical patterns embedded within the electromagnetic pulses. These patterns bore striking similarities to universal constants, such as the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, hinting at a language rooted in fundamental principles of the universe. Encouraged by these findings, the team attempted to establish two-way communication. By modulating Abyssal Seeker's own electromagnetic output to mimic the monolith signals, they hoped to elicit a response. For days, there was no reaction. Then, unexpectedly, one of the smaller monoliths altered its pulse frequency, mirroring the probe's signal with uncanny precision. Though rudimentary, this exchange marked a monumental milestone, humanity's first tentative dialogue with an alien entity. The realization sent shockwaves through the scientific community and sparked intense debates about the ethical implications of further interaction. Should humans continue attempting to communicate, risking unintended consequences? Or should they retreat, leaving Europa's secrets undisturbed? Public opinion fractured along similar lines. While some celebrated the breakthrough as a triumph of exploration, others warned of hubris, arguing that meddling in Europa's affairs could have catastrophic repercussions. Protests erupted worldwide, with environmentalists demanding an immediate halt to the mission. Amidst the growing controversy, governments convened emergency summits to discuss the future of Europa exploration. The stakes were high. Europa's ocean represented not only a potential treasure trove of scientific knowledge, but also untold resources that could reshape Earth's economy. Corporations lobbied for access, envisioning lucrative mining operations beneath the Moon's icy shell. Environmental advocates countered with dire warnings. They argued that introducing foreign materials or technologies into Europa's pristine ecosystem could trigger cascading effects, potentially wiping out entire species. Furthermore, they questioned humanity's moral right to exploit another world's resources, especially when doing so might endanger its native inhabitants. The debate reached a fever pitch when leaked documents revealed plans for a follow-up mission involving crewed submersibles. Critics decried the proposal as reckless, pointing out the inherent risks of sending humans into such an unpredictable environment. Supporters, however, insisted that direct human involvement was necessary to unlock Europa's full potential. Caught in the crossfire, the scientific community struggled to remain neutral. Many researchers acknowledged the dangers of overreach, but feared losing funding if public support waned. Others advocated for caution, urging policymakers to prioritize preservation over profit. Tragedy struck during a routine sampling operation. A malfunction in one of Abyssal Seeker's robotic arms caused a small quantity of synthetic lubricant to leak into the surrounding water. Initially dismissed as negligible, the spill quickly proved disastrous. Within hours, microbial colonies near the affected area began exhibiting erratic behavior, multiplying at an alarming rate. Larger organisms fled the region en masse, disrupting the delicate balance of the ecosystem. The incident highlighted the fragility of Europa's biosphere and the unintended consequences of human interference. Despite containment efforts, the contamination spread, triggering chain reactions throughout the ocean. Bioluminescent creatures congregated around the monoliths in unprecedented numbers, their synchronized movements growing frenetic and chaotic. Worse still, the monoliths themselves showed signs of distress. Their electromagnetic pulses became irregular, emitting bursts of energy that destabilized nearby currents. Scientists feared that the disruption might cascade into a larger ecological collapse, rendering Europa uninhabitable for its indigenous life forms. On Earth, outrage erupted. Protesters stormed corporate headquarters, accusing greedy executives of prioritizing profits over planetary stewardship. Governments scrambled to mitigate the fallout, imposing strict regulations on future missions. Yet the damage had been done, and questions lingered. Could Europa recover from humanity's intrusion? Or had the mission irreparably altered its destiny? In the weeks following the contamination incident, an even more alarming development unfolded. The monoliths began replicating at an accelerated pace, constructing new structures with astonishing speed. These replicas emerged from the seabed, rising like ghostly sentinels amidst the chaos. Unlike the original monoliths, which radiated calm and order, the new ones pulsed erratically, emitting waves of energy that destabilized their surroundings. Researchers hypothesized that the replication process was a defensive mechanism triggered by the contamination. If true, it raised terrifying possibilities. Were the monoliths attempting to quarantine the affected areas? Or were they preparing for something far more ominous? As the number of monoliths multiplied, their influence over Europa's ocean grew exponentially. Hydrothermal vents surged with increased activity, releasing torrents of superheated fluid that disrupted existing habitats. Schools of bioluminescent creatures swarmed around the structures, their once graceful movements now frantic and uncoordinated. Even the Europoleviathans, previously indifferent to the probe's presence, began exhibiting aggressive behaviors, charging toward the monoliths with startling ferocity. Back on Earth, panic set in. Conspiracy theories proliferated, with some claiming the monoliths were weapons designed to eradicate invasive species, including humans. Others speculated that the structures were awakening an ancient force buried deep within Europa's core. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: humanity had awakened something it could no longer control. The final chapter of Europa's story remains unwritten. As Abyssal Seeker continues its mission, scientists grapple with profound questions about humanity's place in the cosmos. Did curiosity lead to discovery or destruction? Are we stewards of the universe, tasked with protecting its wonders, or mere intruders destined to leave chaos in our wake? For now, Europa's secrets remain tantalizingly out of reach. Its ocean, teeming with life and mystery, stands as both a testament to the resilience of existence and a warning against unchecked ambition. The monoliths, silent yet watchful, loom as enigmas whose purposes may never be fully understood. As humanity reflects on its actions, the lessons of Europa serve as a poignant reminder. Exploration carries responsibility. Whether we choose to tread lightly or forge ahead recklessly will shape not only our future, but the fate of countless worlds beyond our own. Join us on this journey to uncover the universe's greatest mysteries. Subscribe now and stay tuned for updates as we venture ever deeper into the unknown. Together, we can explore the stars and perhaps find ourselves along the way.